Yes, English Tourism Week is a project that we've been running for the last, well, more than 10 years, where we really have a week where we work with the tourism industry to both celebrate and highlight the importance of tourism. Sometimes one of the challenges we have is that people think of tourism as something that's a bit fluffy and not really an industry and not as important as other industries. Whereas, in fact, it's hugely important to the tourism economy. Tourism is one of England's largest and most valuable industries. It supports hundreds of thousands of small businesses. It employs 2.6 million people. And back in 2019, which was the last sort of full year's figures, in 2019, it generated 76 billion in domestic visitor spending. So by any measure, those figures are important, and those figures show that it's an important industry. We also want to use the week to celebrate our absolutely amazing product and the diversity of what English tourism is made up of, and celebrate the amazing people that make it special. So we, like many industries, sometimes struggle to get young people to recognize that this could be a career of choice. So people sometimes think of tourism as something they do in the bits in between. Working in tourism, I could always get a job in a bar or whatever. Whereas we want people to recognize that actually, tourism can be a great career choice. So we also celebrate people who are the unsung heroes, if you like, of our industry.
Well, so this year particularly is a very big year for tourism because you've got the coronation coming up and Eurovision.
Oh.
How do you feel that they're going to impact the tourism industry?
It's going to be fantastic. I get terribly excited about it. You've got two events that are totally different. I mean, could they be any more different? You've got one where the eyes of the world will be on us because of the coronation. This is something that we do really well. That sort of pomp and pageantry and celebrating a huge event like that, we do very well. People will want to be here to be part of it, or they'll want to watch it. So there's a huge opportunity there. And then only a week later, we're hosting Eurovision. I will admit I'm a huge Eurovision fan. I got incredibly excited when I heard that. I don't know whether, I think people fall into one camp or the other. The people who admit they're Eurovision fans, and the people who are secret fans and don't admit it. I'm one of the ones who admits it. But I think it's a great fit with the city of Liverpool. I think fantastic city to be hosting Eurovision. And I love the fact that they're doing it in conjunction with and on behalf of the Ukraine. I think, so you've got two events which show that we really want to welcome the world, which show us, I think, at our best, and events that show we are a welcoming people. Sometimes I think we get a bad press from people thinking the English are standoffish, or the events of the last few years. I think these events are the sort of things that really show the opportunity that we have.
Absolutely. So these events, how is these events and tourism influenced the economy?
Well, clearly there is a whole thing about people spending money, and as I've said, £76 billion is an important element of the economy by that standard. There is also, when you think about tourism, the things that make up the visitor economy, so yes, of course, it's restaurants and destinations, and hotels and attractions, and theatres, and then it's the physical environment. So it's countryside, it's seaside, it's great towns. I think one of our challenges is people see London and they think England, whereas in fact, and I love London, don't get me wrong, but I spend a great deal of my time saying, yes, London is only part of the story. You then have the great cities of Liverpool, of Manchester, of Leeds, of Newcastle, Bristol. They are all part of the story as well, if you're looking for a city break. These events give us a huge opportunity to tell a wider story.
So with all this, do you feel like tourism gets enough recognition for the influence it has on the economy?
Look, the reason we run this project is because clearly we want to make sure that the profile is as high as possible and to get the right message across. So this year, as I've said, our focus is on amazing destinations and amazing people. And so we're also running a thing called the Tourism Superstar. And that is running, I think we've got 10 shortlisted entrants. It's running until the middle of English Tourism Week. Voting will close, so people can get to vote for these people. If you go on our website, so you go on Visit Britain / Visit Britain / tourism superstar 2023. You can see little snippets of film about each of those people. Choose your favorite and vote for them. And by doing that, we're highlighting some of the fantastic careers, the fantastic people that make tourism special.
So what kind of people are they? What do these people do? Do they run a specific business? Do they take part in a certain part of the town, the city, an element?
So if you have a look, you will see that they are all sorts of people. We've got people as young as 17 who've been nominated by their business, who are apprentices, but are showing such fantastic aptitude and characteristic for working with visitors that they've been nominated as a superstar, right the way up to people who've retired and perhaps are now, I'm just trying to think, we've got the whole age range and people who do different things. So we've got the station master at the railway, the station master at the Kent and East Railway, who's just a fantastic, passionate person, and passion is what tourism can be all about. We're also trying to give your listeners an opportunity themselves to become tourists in their own area. So at the moment, if people log on to visitbritain.shop.com and they join our mailing list, we're giving the first 30,000 people who do that a voucher for £20 that they can exchange on the shop for tickets to go and see something. Now, I'm going to, at the risk of sounding like a street trader, when they're gone, they're gone. so I'd urge people as quickly as possible to do that. But that's because we want people to experience the local tourism product. The sort of things that you say, one day I'll go and do that. And you don't get round to doing it. So we want them to go and really experience what it is that's in their own area.
Well, one of the final points I'd like to touch on is, what are the issues that are facing the tourism sector?
Well, I suppose some of the issues that are facing everyone. So there is a concern about, people are concerned about the cost of living, and inevitably, therefore, that can translate into a reticence to book. So we're seeing the booking window shorten, people making decisions much later to book. We're seeing people being very savvy about booking product that they can cancel because they're concerned about what will be going on at the time that they're booking. There's a challenge coming out of COVID and the pandemic that lots of industries are facing about how you get people back into a working environment. Different challenges, but tourism is a very resilient industry, and I have every confidence that the wonderful people who run those businesses will come up with creative and innovative solutions for those challenges.
We're actually coming up to the anniversary of the first lockdown. So would you say that tourism has bounced back exponentially since the pandemic?
I would say that tourism is incredibly resilient, and tourism has reacted to the issues that it has faced. You know, at the moment, we're looking at figures that are very similar to the 2019 figures as far as visitor numbers go. We're a little bit probably below as far as visitor spend is concerned. And you know, we're also at the same time with the domestic visitor, we're of course trying to highlight, because we see they have a concern about cost of living, we're trying to highlight options about how you can do things as inexpensively as possible. So there's always a balance. You know, we want high spending visitors because we want to push up that spend, but also we need to highlight for people that you may be choosing. We know that at the moment some kind of high percentage, 33% of people who undertake our survey say that they're more likely to choose a UK trip in the next 6 months than an overseas trip. This is versus the figures that were pre-pandemic. So there's an opportunity there, you know, and you know, we will innovate and we will respond to that opportunity.
So is there anything else you would like to say about your project?
Look, I hope it shows that I love tourism. And I think anyone who takes this opportunity to go and experience an element of their local tourism that they haven't seen before will be surprised. And there's a real opportunity that they'll fall in love with taking a holiday in England again.